Hello guys, it's me again Maria, and today's tutorial is all about giving you tips for video blogging. So if you're planning to create a video for your blog or content, things like that, so here are some tips that I hope will help you to create a video for your blogs and articles. So let's do this. So this is just a short video. I just want to share to you some tips. Maybe you already know this, but for those who are getting started and you want to start doing video for your blogs and your contents or articles, I hope these tips will help you to create a video. Okay, so first tip is one. Okay, when you have actually chosen to make a blog site, there are a number of things that you need to keep in mind and to consider. Okay, first is these pointers will enable you to have a video blog site that people in fact desire to see, and it will keep your blog site useful and intriguing. So it's as you see on my computer, you have an able to video blog that people in fact desire to see. So if you're blogging for something, or if you're blogging about this kind of article or content like you see on this picture, there are Liberty Kids, so they want people needs to see what are you talking about, or what kind of articles or blogs that you wanted to talk about. So put something like this, and I think it's more engaging when people see what's inside your blog, right? Okay, so let's jump to our next tip. All right, the very first of this idea is to make sure that you keep all of your blog site entries brief. What I mean by that is do not make a video too long, no? So it's just make it brief, like a summary about of your blog or content, and create this kind of video just to give your audience some ideas on what is your blog all about. Next tip is keep in mind that you will not desire to keep your blog site longer than 4 minutes due to the fact that numerous individuals that are enjoying video blog sites are not there for 30 minutes. So they're not really watching kind of movie or tutorial things like that. So just keep in mind that if you want to create a video for your blog, make sure that you keep it for longer than 4 minutes. They just want to see what's going on into your blog. Just make it short. Next tip is this is why having more video blog site entries is much better than having fewer longer entries. So means that if you have a lot of video blog site entries, it's much better than having fewer longer entries. For example, you're posting a blog every day, or I don't know how you do your blogs. Sometimes people are posting blogs every day, so you don't need to make a long videos for that. You just every blog just make a short video and just let the people know what it's all about your blog every day. So next tip. Once again, if you feel your story would take longer than the recommended quantity of time, either do not talk about it or make it into a multi-post story. So Bad Joey says make good stories. So that's I just put that images there. So if you think that your blog is too long, like what I've told you, just cut it into segments. You don't need to uh, create the video for a long blog. Just create it on the segment, and then you can just continue making your videos for the rest of your blogs. So all right, so next tip is lots of video blogs writers will not just compose about the story. However, they will likewise consist of a video that assists explain the story. All right, so what I mean by this is, so you have to talk about a little bit of what's your blog all about. All right, you just don't just post it there and put images and do some videos, things like that. You have to talk about something about your blog. All right, I'm not saying talk about for long, long, long conversation like this. So just explain what it's all about, and then go for the next video, for the next content, right? So this is another tip that I want you to keep in mind when doing videos to your blog. All right. Next tip is videos are much more effective than pictures due to the fact that the video really positions you in moving scene rather than a stagnant one. All right, so as you see in this video, you see if you're doing or making a video content about nature, things like that, you cannot just you know take a picture of the ocean or whatever nature that, and then just put the image there. So it's it's different when you see the movements. Like, see, if you see this one, I'm gonna show you guys. You see the sea, you see the water, you see the ocean are moving. There is the sun there, and then you're talking about what's going on the beach, how is the sunset, things like that. So if you're creating a blog about nature, things like that. So it's better to position you in a moving scene rather than a stagnant one. So that's another tip. I'm not saying that images is bad for creating blog. It is good, but it is more better if you position yourself, or you position your content into a moving scene like this rather than stagnant one, right? All right, next step is when you are taping your video blog site, make sure that there is no background sound. All right, so what I mean by this is when you're filming or when you're recording, make sure that you don't put your background sound, because once you've done recording, and sometimes the music is louder than your voice, so it's hard to detach the audio when you're doing your recording. So it's better to record your voice and do your blog, create a video while you're taping. You can put the background sound later on when you're going to start editing your video. But what I mean by this is while you're taking your videos, or while you're filming, while you're shooting, you're putting a background music, and we never know after you finish your recording, we never know if the music is louder than your voice, or sometimes you cannot hear your voice, especially when you're filming outside. There are a lot of distractions coming into to your microphone and to your video, so it's better not to have a background sound. You can put that later on when you're editing if you want to, but while you're taping, while you're filming, make sure that you don't have a background sound, right? Next step. Lots of times people will tune out what you're attempting to state and will focus on the background sounds, or they will merely leave your blog site, all right? So if you put the background sounds, sometimes people, they don't know what to listen. They listen more on your sounds because it's too loud and your voice is too, it's too low, or sometimes it's kind of distraction. They can't focus on what to listen. They're gonna listen to the background music, or they're gonna listen to you. And that's why sometimes people are just leave your blog site, because they can concentrate what kind of a blog you want to talk about if your background music is too loud, right? So that's another point that you have to keep in mind when you put your background music on your blog site, right? So next tip. All right, that's me. All right, next tip is make sure that you use close-ups rather than longer distance shots, all right? So, yeah, because when you're talking, when you're blogging, you don't need to stay away from the camera. And for the next tip, I'm going to show you guys. So just make sure that you use your close-ups rather than longer distance shots, all right? So that's another tip. And the next tip is follow up with this is next this. Tip is it's the exact same principle as in reality. You would not listen to an individual who was attempting to offer you info from throughout the space. So you do not establish your video blog site to where you are distanced from the video camera. So they don't need to see what surrounds you, and they don't need to see your background, things like that. So you don't need to step away from your camera because they're focusing on your content, they're focusing on your blog, right? So, and the next tip is, if you are at the proper range from the cam, is by looking at the screen and making sure that just your chest and up is noticeable. An excellent method to find. As you see, I put my picture there like this, and see on this picture. Yeah, so just like that. All right, next tip is, all right, this is what I'm talking about. You do not wish to reveal your entire upper body due to the fact that you would be too far for the audience. So if you want your audience to see the whole body, so all you have to do is just a little bit, step back from your camera so that they can see your whole body, but you don't need that. So like what you see on my picture, if I come closer, I think they can only see half of my body, but I want them to see all of my, my angle and my poses, things like that, that I'm sitting there, or I don't know what pose is that. So I don't want to see that. So you don't need that, so you do not wish to reveal your entire upper body. All right, so like what you see on my previous slides, you only see half of my body. So in these slides you see the whole upper body, due to the fact that you would be too far. You see the difference on being just half of your body from your face to chest, and the difference of when you want to see all the upper body is it's different. It makes difference. Next tip is, this is very, very important, and keep in mind that constantly utilize excellent lighting. Do not be in front of a window that has the sun shining through it. Constantly face your lighting, and never ever have a backlight for video blogging. Okay, make sure that when you're blogging, it's not the sun is focus on your face, and you just open the window so you can see the brightness of the, but it's not good. So do not be in front of the window. You close the curtain, and then just use some kind of lights for your video when you're filming. Okay, and never ever have a backlight for the video blogging at the back. Okay, all the lights are in front of you. So that's all for today, guys. That's all the tips that I want to share or add to your in creating a video for your content, articles, or blogs. So I hope this helped, guys, for you to start creating video into your blog, and hope this helps to also to the beginners who's just getting started on creating video. This is just a part of the tips, but I know there are a lot of tips that you can learn from other bloggers, or you go on YouTube. There are a lot of things that you want to know about if you want to make a video for your content or blogs. And if you have any questions, please write down on the comments, and don't forget to click the notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload the videos. So thank you so much, guys. Bye for now.